10 years. A decade. That is the magic number for today. 10 years. Oh, my apologies. I was so caught up in this new introduction that I was doing that I forgot to introduce myself. I forgot my old classic introduction ever since I started this. But then again, I don't really need an introduction, but I'm going to do it anyway. You already know who I am. I'm DJ Storms, Mr. Controversy, and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. And this is, of course, the Lightning Flash update. But you see, there's going to be no weekly show reviews. There's going to be no news, no rumors, no reports section. Although I do have a few in which I'm going to go over. For those of you who did not get the Twitter message that I sent out, who did not see the tweet, who did not get the message, I did not do the Lightning Flash update last week because Hell in a Cell left a bad taste in my mouth. It was a okay show, but the booking decisions were horrendous. But every week I go into a show with a clean slate. I don't expect anything from the show other than the matches, if any matches, announced prior to the show. And it could swing either way. It could either go fairly decent, or it could suck. Plain and simple. But these last 2 weeks for wrestling, in 10 years of watching WWE and wrestling in general, this is without a doubt the worst state that I have ever seen WWE in. And it's very, very, very terrifying. It's terrifying that nobody is doing anything to solve it. Nobody in the WWE is doing anything to solve the problem, and the people that are trying to solve the problem, they're doing everything wrong. They're doing everything that's incorrect. Meanwhile, guys like me and all the other guys out there who watch WWE and wrestling, that do videos, podcasts, talk shows, report any rumors and news going around in the wrestling world, so be it. All the people like me who do this, come on YouTube, sit in front of a microphone, go on a talk show. We voice our opinions about the WWE, and they shun us out. They shun us out. They turn us away as if we are a bad habit. They completely cut off all communications with us. Other than, of course, we go to a show. And some people, they actually defend that. They actually defend the fact that WWE is basically giving us the finger. And they don't realize, they really don't realize that WWE doesn't care about their fan base. Because if they really cared about their fan base, the programming that we are getting would not be happening. And let me tell you something. If you agree with anything, any major storyline that WWE is doing right now, you have honestly reached Vince McMahon levels of mental retardation, and you need to enroll yourself in the nearest preschool. Because, quite honestly, I can't help you. You're a lost, poor soul out in the wrestling community with zero intelligence whatsoever. And I have no remorse. This video has been a long time coming. And I'm going to go over every little solitary thing that's going to happen over the next 6 months. Because for the next 6 months, this is the least interested I have ever been in WWE. In 10 years, I have never been more disinterested in the WWE than today. And going through WrestleMania season. Until WrestleMania is over, I'm not going to care for anything. I'm not going to care for anything because everything is laid out. It's set in stone. It's predictable. You got all these things going around. Roman Reigns scheduled to beat Brock Lesnar, a part-timer again in the main event of WrestleMania. How many times has a part-timer been in the main event of WrestleMania? Well, you got The Rock back in WrestleMania 28. You got The Rock at WrestleMania 29. You got Batista in WrestleMania 30 because he left 2 months after WrestleMania. You got Brock Lesnar WrestleMania 31, Triple H WrestleMania 32, The Undertaker WrestleMania 33. 6 consecutive years that a part-timer has main evented WrestleMania. When was the last time 2 full-timers main evented WrestleMania? Oh, it was John Cena and The Miz. And let me tell you something. That match was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. It was a disaster. The whole show was a disaster. But even that match alone is going to be better than the scheduled match that Meltzer has confirmed for Survivor Series. You really think that we're going to get a halfway decent match with Jinder Mahal and Brock Lesnar? It's going to go the same typical Brock Lesnar route. Or worse. Worse, can you imagine if Jinder Mahal beats Brock Lesnar with a Colossus? He hits the Cobra Clutch Slam due to interference by the Singh brothers, Sunil and Samir, and he beats Brock Lesnar going into probably his last month as champion in December, but I wouldn't really be surprised if he holds the title past WrestleMania 34. It's scary how WWE is willing to sacrifice an entire brand, an entire show, because let me tell you something, I loved the SmackDown Live of old. It was a great show. It was nowhere near the show of all shows. But it was still a great show. I liked all the feuds that they laid out with AJ Styles as champion, with The Miz and Ziggler, with Becky Lynch, with American Alpha, with Heath Slater and Rhino. Those were all fantastic. I loved the Baron Corbin Kalisto feud. I wish they could renew that feud because that chairs match last year at TLC was phenomenal. But it seems as though ever since Money in the Bank, SmackDown's been on a huge decline. SmackDown's been on a huge decline because they're willing to sacrifice the prestige and the importance of an entire brand, a brand who was drawing a lot of people to it and was perhaps the main focus of your product because Raw at that time was horrible. No one cared for 205 Live. 205 Live is only starting to catch some eyes now. But you take a look at SmackDown then and SmackDown now, you wonder what happened. And ever since Money in the Bank, Jinder Mahal's reign has been terrible. I was all for it. I'm not going to lie. I was all for it, and I actually expressed it on here. I was all for it. Because it was new, it was fresh, it was never been done before, and they completely killed off all of his momentum within 35 days of his championship reign. And they didn't even try. They didn't even try. They did not even try to rejuvenate him, to revive him. I mean, it doesn't help that he's the stiffest in-ring worker that I have ever seen in the last decade. That doesn't help. But they didn't do anything to freshen up his title reign and get people interested. They did the same thing over and over and over and over again. Jinder Mahal's actually been forced down our throats more so than Roman Reigns. And that is saying something. I don't even believe those words are coming out of my mouth. But we all know what's going to happen at the Royal Rumble with Roman and the Shield. Come the Royal Rumble, this little Shield reunion is over. That light at the end of the tunnel, that is not sunlight. That's a train coming straight towards you. Because it leads to Roman and Lesnar in a repeat from WrestleMania 31, which is going to absolutely kill the entire show along if if Jinder is still world champion. And people are okay with that. People are saying, yeah, that's a good decision to reunite the Shield. It's okay to reunite the Shield, only if, Roman's gonna be Universal Champion at WrestleMania. Yeah, it's still a good decision. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. I'm stuttering. I'm stumbling over my words because I honestly don't know what to say. It's terrifying. I am genuinely terrified that people can be okay with this. They're standing on the train tracks. But the difference between you and me is that when that train starts getting close, I have enough intelligence to step away. I'm okay with the Shield reunion right now because, I like the Shield. Who doesn't like the Shield? But I know what this is resulting in. I'm not jumping out of my seat, cheering for the Shield, doing the fist bump and buying their newest t-shirt. Because I know what this is leading to. But everyone else is okay with it. See, this is the type of creative decisions and the type of people that have caused guys like Austin Aries to leave, guys like Cody Rhodes to leave, guys like Neville to leave, guys like CM Punk to leave. Some of the most talented guys in the entire world, in the entire wrestling world. And now I'm actually hearing reports that Nia Jax supposedly walked out on Raw. The creative team, like, what's that classic Cartoon Network show? I know for a fact. I used to watch it when I was a kid. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. You remember that classic Cartoon Network show? It was funny as hell. And there was that one episode where Billy and Mandy sued each other to see who gets the rights to be Grim's friend. What's that little, that green elephant with the small trunk? Green elephant with the small trunk. Fred Burger. Fred Burger. And he's sitting in the jury, and he's raising his hand and talking to the judge. When do we get hammer thingies? Because I think I could build a table or some chairs. And then he grabs the gavel out of the judge's hand, and he starts banging on the wall with the gavel. Fred Burger, can I have some nachos? That's what WWE creative is like. That's exactly what they're like. They don't know what the hell they're doing. It's almost the same thing as Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon is Fred Burger, and the gavel is Roman Reigns, and the wall is us. Roman Reigns. That's exactly what it's like. And you could substitute Jinder Mahal. There's no difference. It's utter mental retardation. Mental retardation, I tell you. And it's not just that. It's not just horrible storylines and horrible booking and shoving people down our throats. Now I'm hearing from cage side seats that Enzo is supposed to win the Cruiserweight title back from Kalisto. I was all for Enzo, and they screwed up two storylines here. You could have moved Neville out of the Cruiserweight division once he lost to Enzo at No Mercy. Enzo could have held the title for 2 months, 3 months. Then you could have given it to Kalisto. But no, you take it off Enzo within 2 weeks and you're going to give it right back to Kalisto. What? This is not just a question for WWE Creative themselves. This is not just a question for WWE Creative. This is a question for everyone who just brushes the quick title changes off. Who just says like, yeah, I don't care. What exactly is there to care about if somebody has a 6-day, 2-week, 1-month title reign? What is there to care about? Is it memorable? Is it exciting? Does it bring prestige to the championship? I'll answer all those questions for you. No, and no. Okay? It's not about the number of times that you hold the championship. It's how many defenses you have in your reign as champion and the length of your championship reign. Excuse me. Losing my voice here. But this had to be done. Why do you think Sasha Banks's women's championship reigns are nowhere near memorable? Why do you think no one cares about them? Because none of them are over 30 days. She has never successfully defended the Raw Women's Championship. Why do you think that no one really cares about the New Day's Tag Team Championship reigns, no matter how good the feud was? Because they've never successfully defended it, and it's nothing but flip-flopping of the titles. Hot potato, hot potato. Hot potato, 2 potato, 7 potato, 8 potato, 10 potato, 56 potato more. Hot potatoing of the championship does not bring prestige to the championship. It actually devalues the prestige of the championship. And if somebody loses a championship within a short period of time, it devalues their credibility. It devalues their credibility. Why do you think no one really cared about Roman Reigns' championship reigns, aside from the fact that he was forced down our throats? Because they none of them lasted over 80 days. Jinder Mahal has actually held the WWE Championship longer than Roman, Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles, The Rock, some Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, Mick Foley. I don't even know what to think of that. And notice that I'm not wearing a WWE shirt. Because like I stated, this is the least interested I have ever been. And I don't care about anything WWE related until after WrestleMania 34. And on top of that, nobody, absolutely nobody in WWE cares. Nobody in WWE has the balls to stand up to Vince McMahon or these higher-ups. You got Jimmy Jacobs, who took a selfie with the Bullet Club and gets fired for doing so. Why? Why did he get fired? Why? Because WWE doesn't want their employees to have freedom? It's like if you work there, it's like you're in a prison. It's like Vince McMahon is the director and you're the inmates. He's the cop and you're the inmates. It doesn't really matter. There is no difference between WWE and a prison. And I'm pretty sure all the people that want to get to the WWE, they want to make it big, they want to get noticed. But in reality, if you don't have a physique like Jinder or Roman, you're not going anywhere. Some of this stuff, it just does not make any sense. It doesn't make any sense how some people online, they always bash the community. Smarks. What gives you the right to call us smarks? In a derogatory term. In a derogatory way, excuse me. Why? Because we have more intelligence than you? Why? Because we have been watching wrestling longer than you, and you know deep down in your soul that we are better fans than you? To all the people who are saying that the people like me, all these people like me, who criticize the product and say that the product sucks and say that WWE is horrible and say that Triple H needs to take over and NXT is great, it's because we know what good wrestling is. We love wrestling. I love wrestling. No matter what, I love wrestling. I would go to an arena filled with 15 people and I'd sit and watch a match because I love wrestling. You take a look at all these talented guys on WWE programming, like Finn Balor, like Bray Wyatt, like Nakamura, AJ Styles, you see Baron Corbin, Kalisto, Apollo Crews, Cody Rhodes when he was still in WWE. And you see all these talented guys, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. You see all these talented guys, and yes, I get it, you don't like them, You don't have to like them. I'm not, what I am trying to say and what the people like me are trying to say, and I speak for everyone. I'm assuming that everyone that is like me agrees with me when I say we are not forcing you to like the same people that we like. What we are trying to do is enlighten you. What we are trying to do is educate you. What we are trying to do is open your eyes, just like my eyes were opened back in 2014, and I actually started seeing WWE for what they're doing, and that is putting other people before the ones who are more deserving. Because put it this way, you know for a fact, and I don't care what you say, you know for a fact that AJ Styles is more deserving of a main event WrestleMania spot than Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. And especially Roman Reigns. The guys like AJ Styles and Nakamura, Balor, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, all those guys, they're not just indie marks. You just say indie marks as a derogatory term because you don't want your little cult gravitating towards them. You want to stick to the basic WWE. You want to stick to, the classic guys, and nothing can ever go wrong, and all these smarks are ruining wrestling with their Sami Zayns and Finn Balor's. No, we're not ruining wrestling. If anything, we are making wrestling more entertaining than it is. We're making wrestling more entertaining than it is. Especially our favorite guys. Especially our indie marks, as you call them. They're making wrestling more entertaining than it already is. The fact of the matter is that these guys, they work hard and they work hard and they work hard for years on the independent scene to make it to the WWE. And let me tell you something. I am not discrediting anyone for their wrestling ability other than Jinder Mahal because he is incredibly stiff in the ring. I am not discrediting anyone for their wrestling ability. I am not discrediting anyone for their matches that they've had because of the fact that I know that each and every single person, they wrestle and they work hard in order to get to the position that they are in. But guys like Roman, and you know it, no matter how many times you want to deny it, you know deep down in your heart, he was not ready. If Roman Reigns had never won the 2015 Royal Rumble, you all know he would have never ended up in this position. He's in this position because of Vince McMahon. I don't hate Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, rumor is he's a very nice guy backstage. He's a very nice guy backstage. I'm okay with Roman. He can wrestle. He can put on a fantastic match. I don't like the way Roman Reigns has been booked over the course of the last few years. And he's going to continue to be booked that way until Vince McMahon is out of office for good. And let me tell you something. By the looks of it, we're probably in for another 10, 15 more years of this. And I'm going to be sitting back, and I'm just going to be waiting. I'm just going to be waiting for the day that Triple H takes over, because there's no chance that Vince McMahon is going to actually wake up and actually give us what we want, so that way he can get his audience back. He doesn't even realize that his company does not revolve around him. His company revolves around us, because if we don't get what we want, we're going to stop going. And the consequences are already taking into effect, because a lot of people have been missing the weekly shows. The merchandise sales are going down. House show sales are going down. And then WWE has the audacity. They have the audacity. Vince McMahon has the audacity to feed Stephanie McMahon these bullshit lines about how WWE listens to the fans, as she said on an interview, I believe it was last week. They have the audacity to say that they listen to us when they know good and damn well that every single chance Every single solitary chance that they have to listen to us and give us something that we are interested in, they throw it right out the window and they go the typical stereotype WWE route. And if not, if they don't go the stereotype route, they make it even worse. Now we're going to get Brock Lesnar and Jinder in perhaps the worst main event match for a pay-per-view in WWE history. The short title changes are going to continue. We're going to get Roman in the main event of WrestleMania, and everyone who is not intelligent is going to sit back and they're going to be okay with this because they are nothing but brainwashed fools. They're nothing but brainwashed puppets. We're trying to educate you by saying you are nothing more than Vince McMahon's butt puppets. Vince McMahon is trying to make you his butt puppets so that way he can get a big enough fan base to drive us away so he can run his company however the hell he wants, and everyone across the globe who watches his company is going to be okay with every single solitary little decision that he makes. And you know it's true. In the words of Kurt Angle, oh, it's true. It's damn true. I honestly do not care. I do not care for anything that happens with WWE until after WrestleMania 34. Yes, I'm going to watch it. Yes, I'm going to do my rundowns, and I'm going to do my Lightning Flash updates. But you're not going to see the same old enthusiastic DJ Storms. What is there to be excited about? What is there to be enthusiastic about? Force Shield reunion. Jinder Mahal. Quick title changes. The most deserving WWE superstars who came from the indies, who have worked so hard to get to the WWE, buried within 2 months. Look at Apollo Crews. One can only imagine who's next. Look at Lio Rush. You know for a fact when Lio Rush starts getting some wins under his belt, you know for a fact he's going to be NXT champion. Guys like Johnny Gargano is going to be NXT champion. Almas is going to be NXT champion one day. He could very well do it at NXT TakeOver. But all those guys, you transfer them to the main roster, and Vince McMahon doesn't care. Unless your name is Roman Reigns, Jinder Mahal, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, those types of people, he doesn't care for you. He's still running his company like it's the 1980s. Which is why I will forever and always say, and I will stand by this statement until Vince McMahon is out of office, WWE is without a doubt the most pathetic company in the world. Not wrestling company. Company, period. I have never seen a single solitary company just blatantly kick their fan base in the balls constantly, night in and night out, because they're too stubborn to actually give us something good. I have nothing else more to say. I really have nothing else more to say. Obviously, yes, I'm going to do my rundown for TLC. It's going to happen tomorrow. We all know that TLC is taking place this Sunday, October 22nd, 2017, with the pre-show starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. TLC is it's gonna be great, you know. In the words of all Vince McMahon's butt puppets, it's all gonna be fantastic. We got a Shield versus Kane and Braun Strowman, The Miz and The Bar. We have only 2 championship matches at TLC. There's only going to be 1 TLC match. You already know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. The usual. Follow me on Twitter, #1 WWE fan. Follow me on Instagram at DDog316. And keep on praying. Keep on praying that somehow, someway, Vince McMahon is out of office for good. Though I would never wish death upon anyone. And ladies and gentlemen, I just needed to get that off my chest. Because this has been brewing all year. This has been brewing all year. I'm glad I did this, but I'm going to try to make the best of a bad situation. I'm going to try my hardest. I'm going to try harder than I've ever tried before in anything that I've ever done to enjoy what WWE is giving me for now. I'm trying to be optimistic at this point, but I just needed to let all that out. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got to say for today. Catch me tomorrow for the rundown. I'll see you.